How to Win Friends and Influence People by Dale Carnegie is not just a book. It is a guide to transforming the way we interact with others and, in turn, the way others perceive us. First published in 1936, it has withstood the test of time, selling millions of copies worldwide. The book offers invaluable lessons for anyone looking to build stronger relationships, enhance social influence, or improve their communication skills. Carnegie's work remains a go-to resource for leaders, entrepreneurs, educators, and anyone wanting to make a positive impact on the people around them. In a world where personal and professional success often depends on the relationships we build, Carnegie's ideas still ring true. The book opens with a powerful realization. At the core of human behavior is the desire to feel important. In fact, Carnegie argues that the need for importance is stronger than the need for food or shelter in many cases. This isn't about selfish vanity. It's about a deep-seated psychological need to feel recognized and valued. Think about it for a second. The last time someone made you feel truly important, how did it change your perception of them? Chances are, it strengthened your relationship with them and made you more likely to trust and like them. It's a fundamental truth of human nature. When people feel valued, they become more open, more connected, and more willing to reciprocate positive feelings. Carnegie suggests that one of the most straightforward ways to win friends and influence people is by making them feel significant. Acknowledging others for their contributions, qualities, and achievements not only boosts their self-esteem, but also positions you as someone who sees their worth. This principle, while seemingly simple, can have an incredibly profound effect on any relationship, whether it's with a colleague, a friend, or even a stranger. While showing appreciation is one of the simplest ways to build rapport, it's not just about giving compliments. Carnegie makes it clear that genuine and sincere appreciation is the key. Insincere praise or flattery can be easily detected, and it can lead to mistrust. People are smart enough to know when they're being used for manipulation. The appreciation Carnegie refers to is about truly understanding what makes someone valuable and acknowledging it with authenticity. This means taking the time to notice the small things about people, their kindness, their expertise, or their hard work. When we take the time to recognize others, we create a positive cycle where they, in turn, are more likely to notice and appreciate us. This positive reinforcement strengthens the bond between people. But why does it work so effectively? It's because we all, at our core, want to feel seen, heard, and validated. The more you show others that you value them, the more they will value you in return. Listening is a skill that's often underestimated. In a world that constantly demands our attention, being a great listener can set you apart from the crowd. Carnegie emphasizes that to truly connect with others, we need to make them feel heard and understood. One of the most effective ways to do this is by listening actively. This means focusing completely on the speaker, not just hearing the words they say, but absorbing their emotions, thoughts, and intentions. Active listening involves not interrupting, judging, or thinking about your response while the other person is talking. Instead, it's about showing empathy and understanding their perspective. Carnegie even suggests asking thoughtful questions based on what the other person has said, showing that you're not just passively hearing them, but genuinely interested in what they have to say. This approach fosters trust and deepens connections, because people feel validated and respected when their opinions are heard. But listening is not just about making the other person feel good. It's a tool for building better relationships. By listening attentively, you can learn more about someone's needs, desires, and challenges, allowing you to respond in ways that are more aligned with their interests. Listening well enables you to communicate more effectively and create a stronger bond with the other person. People love talking about themselves, and that's not a bad thing. Carnegie encourages us to take advantage of this natural tendency by asking others questions that invite them to share their thoughts and experiences. This is a classic technique for building rapport, because it shows genuine interest in the other person. By letting someone talk about their passions, desires, or challenges, you make them feel important and valued. Carnegie suggests that if you can show an authentic curiosity about a person's life, they'll be more inclined to like you and engage with you. This technique works in almost any context, whether you're networking at a business event or chatting with someone at a social gathering. When you allow someone to talk about their interests, they not only feel good about themselves, but also feel a connection with you for taking the time to engage with them. What's important here is that you're not just asking random questions. You're asking questions that show you care about the other person. This builds trust and allows people to feel like they can open up around you. But Carnegie takes this concept further by emphasizing the importance of focusing on the person's name. Using someone's name in conversation has a powerful psychological effect. To most people, their name is the sweetest sound in any language. Carnegie points out that calling someone by their name in a conversation establishes a sense of intimacy and respect. It makes the interaction feel personal and creates an emotional connection. However, this doesn't mean you should overdo it. Repeating someone's name too often can come across as insincere or awkward. Instead, use their name naturally in the conversation to create a sense of familiarity and warmth. People feel valued when their name is used in a meaningful way because it signals to them that they are seen as individuals, not just as generic people in the crowd. This small detail can make a big difference in how people perceive you. Criticism, condemnation, and complaining are some of the quickest ways to alienate others. Whether it's offering negative feedback or pointing out someone's flaws, these actions often lead to defensiveness and resentment. Instead of criticizing, Carnegie advises us to focus on encouragement and constructive feedback. When we criticize someone, it often triggers a fight-or-flight response in them. They become defensive and less open to hearing what we have to say. But when we focus on the positives and provide helpful feedback, we create an environment where others are more likely to listen and accept our suggestions. This is not to say that criticism is never warranted. Instead, Carnegie suggests that we should approach it with kindness and tact. When you focus on people's strengths first and gently point out areas for improvement, they're more likely to take your feedback to heart and use it to grow. Encouraging others through positive reinforcement builds trust and helps create a stronger relationship based on mutual respect. One of the most counterintuitive ideas Carnegie offers is to avoid arguments altogether. It may seem like we need to fight for our point of view or assert our opinions, but Carnegie argues that arguments are rarely productive. In fact, even if you win an argument, you may lose the relationship. Instead of arguing, Carnegie encourages us to seek common ground. When we're in a disagreement, the goal should be to understand the other person's perspective and to find a way to meet them halfway. This doesn't mean you should give up your own beliefs or values, but it does mean that you should be open to listening and negotiating. People are more likely to be influenced by someone who is open-minded and understanding rather than someone who simply insists on being right. By avoiding arguments and focusing on collaboration, you create a positive environment where people feel heard, respected, and willing to cooperate. In addition to avoiding arguments, Carnegie stresses the importance of allowing others to save face. In any situation where someone has made a mistake or done something embarrassing, we should be mindful of how we address it. Publicly embarrassing someone or pointing out their faults can destroy their confidence and damage the relationship. Instead, Carnegie suggests that we should be compassionate and offer them a way to redeem themselves with dignity. This doesn't mean we should ignore the problem or pretend it didn't happen, but it does mean that we should address it in a way that preserves the other person's self-respect. By doing so, we help maintain a positive relationship and ensure that both parties come out of the situation with their dignity intact. People are far more likely to trust and engage with you when they feel that you respect their vulnerability and provide them with a safe space to grow. Finally, one of the most powerful strategies for building influence and winning friends is to admit when you're wrong. People respect those who are humble enough to acknowledge their mistakes, instead of making excuses or shifting the blame onto others. Carnegie advises that we should take full responsibility when we've done something wrong. Admitting our mistakes not only shows integrity, but also builds trust. It demonstrates that we're not perfect, but we're willing to own up to our actions and learn from them. This approach can diffuse tension in difficult situations and foster mutual respect. When you admit you're wrong, you show others that you value honesty and that you're committed to improving yourself. This act of vulnerability can strengthen relationships and pave the way for deeper connections. In conclusion, how to win friends and influence people is not about using manipulative tactics to get what you want from others. Instead, it's about treating people with respect, understanding their needs, and making them feel valued. The principles Carnegie shares are based on genuine human emotions and desires, and they offer timeless advice for anyone looking to improve their relationships. By following these principles, you'll find that you can win friends, influence people, and ultimately build a more successful and fulfilling life. These strategies aren't just about making people like you, they're about building authentic connections that will stand the test of time. So, whether you're looking to improve your career, expand your social circle, or simply become a better person, these principles will guide you on your journey.